The most magnetic people you know share 8 invisible patterns, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. Most people think being universally liked means being loud, extroverted, or wildly charming. Psychology says the opposite. What looks like effortless likability is actually a precise psychological pattern, and anyone can learn it. 1. Warm mirror energy. They match your tone, your pace, your vibe. So subtly, you barely notice it. Notice how they lean in when you lean in. Slow their speech when yours gets quiet. Match your energy without mimicking. It feels like synchrony, not copying. People assume it means they're simply friendly. But psychology calls this adaptive social mirroring, a pattern where the brain unconsciously aligns with others to lower social threat and build trust. Their mind is finely tuned to connection, making people feel seen and safe. 2. Calm emotional field. They stay grounded even when conversations get tense. Watch someone magnetic in a heated meeting. While others lean back defensively or interrupt, they stay still, breathe slowly, and let silence do the work. Most assume they're just chill. But this is emotional regulation, the ability to stabilize internal states so others subconsciously co-regulate with them. People feel anchored around them because their presence quiets psychological noise. 3. Effortless listening. They listen without interrupting, correcting, or hijacking the story. Their eyes stay focused, their body turns toward you, and they wait. Actually wait before responding. Most think it means they have nothing to say. But this is tied to active listening and attunement, processes where the brain tracks emotional cues more than verbal content. It reveals a mind built for emotional precision. But here's what psychologists discovered that changes everything. These traits aren't random. They're all connected to one core brain function most people don't even know exists. Before we continue, if you've ever felt this way around someone, or been told you have this effect on people, drop a comment. Most people carrying these traits don't even realize it. Now here's where it gets deeper. 4. Low ego social style. They don't dominate conversations. They ask questions, create space, and seem genuinely curious about your answer, not just waiting for their turn to talk. Most assume they're passive. Psychology links this to secure self-esteem, not needing external validation to feel significant. People gravitate toward them because their presence feels spacious, not competitive. 5. Micro-empathy signals. They nod at the right moments, soften their expression when you talk about something hard, or smile with their eyes, not just their mouth. Watch their face when you mention something difficult. Their eyebrows soften, their head tilts slightly, their entire expression shifts before they even speak. This comes from empathetic accuracy, the ability to read subtle emotional shifts and respond in micro-adjustments. It makes others feel deeply understood without a word being said. 6. Emotional predictability. They don't switch moods suddenly or respond in confusing ways. You know what you're getting. Steady, consistent, reliable. People assume they're boring. But psychology calls this consistent affect, a stable emotional baseline that reduces cognitive load for others. Stanford researchers found people with stable emotional baselines are rated 47% more trustworthy in first impressions. It makes people relax because nothing feels risky around them. Think about the last person who made you feel completely heard. Did they talk a lot? Or did they just listen differently? These final 2 patterns are what separate casual friendships from deep trust. 7. Social precision timing. They know when to speak, when to pause, when to leave space. In group conversations, they don't rush to fill silence. They let it breathe, then enter at exactly the right moment. Most think it's coincidence, but it's tied to interactional synchrony, a rhythm-based social skill where the brain picks up on timing cues. It signals emotional intelligence far beyond average. 8. Subtle confidence. They don't brag, correct, or over-explain. When they know something, they state it simply and move on. When they don't know, they admit it without shame. Psychology connects this to internalized competence, confidence that runs quietly because it's real. Others feel safe leaning on them, without fear of being judged. Here's what ties all 8 patterns together. Psychologists call it social ease, the idea that some individuals naturally lower psychological friction in interactions. People who show these patterns often score higher in emotional intelligence, social awareness, and interpersonal sensitivity. They don't force connection. They create conditions where connection emerges on its own. So, no. Being someone everyone wants to be around doesn't mean you're a people pleaser or a social butterfly. In reality, it means you're someone who reads emotional data with clarity, someone who creates safety without effort, someone whose presence stabilizes others more than they realize. What others see as good vibes is actually a sign of psychological maturity. If you've ever carried these traits, it's not an accident. It's a psychological pattern shaped by your emotional intelligence, your regulation skills, and your ability to understand people without overwhelming them. And the more you understand this, the more intentional and powerful your interactions become. If you want to understand the hidden psychology behind why people behave the way they do, subscribe. Because here, we don't just watch people, we decode them.